Can you highlight some of the progress you've made in the global energy transition front?
We have just completed financial closing of a major offshore wind project. This is in the renewable area. Actually, we just started a new project in the e-methanol area. And e-methanol is a green molecule that I think has a significant and promising future in the area of maritime aviation fuel, and also some of the it could be a precursor to building blocks that are required for toys and also for medical equipment, and we also have a new project in SAF and biodiesel, and I think all these projects are going to shape the future of our portfolio that is transitioning from a traditional energy-related business to a low carbon intensity era in the future.
Is there any terms of ways you're thinking of to diversify risks? For example, you have a significant share in the LNG business, and is there anything that you are considering to stabilize that or reduce the risk in this area?
LNG, natural gas, we think is a very important transition fuel for the entire globe to move to a lower carbon intensity state. And LNG, we have some very good promising projects in the LNG area. We like to make sure that these projects do go forward. There are a lot of work to do in each of these projects, and we want to make sure that it's competitive. And also, we want to have our portfolio well and strategically diversified. This helps the stable energy procurement needs of many of our customers.
Let's shift the question to interest rate. Mm-hmm. Do you think the current Japanese interest rate is going to change in the short term, or how are you evaluating the gap between U.S. and Japan's interest rate?
We think the U.S. economy still has certain momentum, mm-hmm. And I'm sure the interest rate policy may change that in the future. But from that standpoint, I think there's still a scenario where the U.S. would find a nice balance in terms of their interest rate management and trying to minimize the downward effect of the current policy. And from that standpoint, I think the interest rate difference between the U.S. dollar and the Japanese yen, for example, that there will be a certain delta that will continue.
Your employees are scattered around the world, and you are promoting diversity and inclusion within your company. How have you been making progress in that front, and how have you been promoting more women into management role?
Our female representation of the manager class, our global Mitsui population is doing, I think, better than Japan, and this is a accumulation of a lot of work. But at the end, in Mitsui, we see diversity and inclusion as a holistic approach of people respecting and understanding each person's professional background. Diversity is a must, but inclusion is the most important step. I'd like to see Mitsui providing a lot of good stages, if you will, for these great employees to show their performance, and we're working on it, and I think our whole team is on board for this.